I always been like I'll say a hustler. Even with like 15 cents, I can make it feel like $1. I can make the most out of whatever. Even if they give me like a small pinch, bada boom, bada bing, I'm gonna make that shit work.
The One More Time Music Podcast. Genuine conversations with genuine people about music. Hosted by Henry with a 3 and Playback Ben.
We're from Beamer Coops to Pencils. Don't want this to end, so part that one more time. Part that one more time. Part that shit like one more time. They part that one more time.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for another episode of the One More Time podcast. I'm your host, Playback Ben, here with my co-host,
Henry with a 3, a.k.a. the Trap Jack Black.
Trap Jack Black. Who do we have in the hot seat today, my friend?
It's your main man, Pote Baby, representing the 912. Never disrespected, never neglected, because I'm always going to rap it. What we talking about, fellas?
That was
amazing.
Fire.
I was supposed to introduce you, and that was so much better than what I was going to do.
Well, and he was going to roast you with someone that you aren't. So that really fucked that plan up.
Can I still do the roast?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Okay. Welcoming in on the 61st episode of the One More Time podcast, 3-time NBA All-Star and NBA champion, Chris Middleton.
He's not impressed. He's not impressed.
Oh, shit. You could have said Draymond Green or something like Chris
The facial hair.
I respect it.
You know, it was mostly about the beard.
Well, damn, he already gave a fire introduction, but this is
the roast didn't hit because of your intro already.
This is the one and only Savannah's finest. We got Pote Baby in the building.
Pote Baby.
Indeed. Thank you for having me, fellas.
Of course, man.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, you are fresh off the EarthGang tour.
Indeed.
How'd that go? Just, what were your thoughts on it?
Oh, man. People been asking me this since, like, I got off the tour, and it's been like, I don't know, I'm running out of words. It's like a blur. Because, like, when you in it, it's like you don't get a chance to, like, really be aware of what's going on. But, like, as far as, like, crowd and, like accepting, like, me and my crew of a bunch of Savannah kids, like, that shit was amazing in every city.
Any, like, standout cities that the fans went crazy?
It's two ways I can answer this. Like, as far as, like, crowd engagement, Austin and Atlanta. Austin, Texas, and Atlanta, Georgia, like, had, like, the best, like, crowd engagement. But, like, as far as, like, buying merch, Dallas sold me out of merch.
Okay.
They spent the most money but did not do, like, all the whoa, Pote Baby going crazy. They didn't do all that.
Which is so bizarre.
What do you prefer? Would you rather sell the merch or have them going crazy with you, you know?
Well, I gotta have my recap footage, so
which, by the way, that did show. I'm not sure if that was Austin or Atlanta.
Oh no, that was like, it was a light show in every city.
Okay, yeah, because I mean they got their phones out, rocking with you, man.
And I was the first opener.
Yeah.
I was the first opener. Shit was crazy.
Which is incredible.
Yeah. When we rehearsed it, we honestly didn't know, like, if people were actually going to put their cell phone lights up. But, like, after the first city in St. Petersburg, we was like, oh, no, we got this. Like, if we set the show up right to where, like, we put enough energy throughout the whole set, it's a 15-minute set. So, like, 14 minutes of just straight up energy and, like, engagement by that last minute where I'm doing That's Me is the last track for my set. Like, yes, putting cell phone lights up ain't shit.
Yeah, because, I mean, they've bought into what you got going on, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, for me, I would almost be scared of, like, just late motherfuckers that aren't there. Like, for the first opener,
for sure,
people are fucking still drinking in their car or, like, smoking weed at their house and late to the show. Like, I don't know. I just was surprised as to how packed out the venue was.
The opportunity, like, shout out to Zeke and since the 80s.
Yeah.
The opportunity was set up for us to where, like, when we got on stage, it wouldn't be just 30, 40 people out there. Like, we go on, I think the flyer would say, like, 7:30. But, like, we wouldn't go on until, like, 8:15.
Yeah.
So, like, it'll already be a wave of, like, 200, 300 people already in the crowd. So, like, when we was out there, we wouldn't be out there having a recap full of 15 motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Like, even though I'm cool with that shit, too, because, like, that's where I started at, where it was only, like, 15 people. 9 of them were, like, rappers, and then the other 6 were, like, regular people. So, like, yeah, doing that shit was fun.
Yeah.
I was excited for that.
No, Surf, who we had on the the podcast recently, he talked about doing shows like that where there's like 10 people. Mm-hmm. Most of them are other artists because it's a fucking showcase or something.
Mm-hmm. Right.
For those 5 regular people, you got to treat that shit like you're Rolling Loud and like you're headlining Madison Square Garden type shit. Indeed. Is that how you treated like early shows too?
Yeah, that's it. Like, I mean, I really like performing because I really like what I do. So, like, it don't matter.
That's key.
It don't matter if it's 3, 4, 50, now 500 or however many. Like, I come out there to have fun with my friends on stage and put on a good show. So that's what we did.
Beautiful. So for an artist that gets the opportunity, they get that call from, since the 80s saying, yo, EarthGang's on tour, we want you to open up. Looking back on it, what advice would you give someone like that, right? Like if you could have talked to yourself before the tour, and maybe you did some of the things that you would also recommend, but like what would be some of the like pointers you'd give, right? If someone gets that opportunity.
Rehearse. You gotta rehearse.
That sounds silly, but the amount of artists that don't rehearse is astronomical.
You gotta rehearse. It don't matter. Even though you rehearsing to an imaginary crowd, to what you putting your best foot forward, you hoping like you're gonna have this amount of people and this amount of energy in the room. But like you gotta rehearse. Because if you don't, man, when the shit is on, you gonna flop. You gonna flop, or the energy not gonna match the music. Bada boom, bada bing. Your breath control gonna be ass. Like all that shit. Because for a room full of strangers, that's how they're judging you. They judging you like the industry. Like, what is it that you're about to show me that is different from the next opener and then the headliner? So what are you about to do? If you ain't figured that shit out, they gonna kick you off the tour after your first date.
Really?
Yeah, they gonna kick you off.
Wow.
For sure. So come on your A game, or you gonna be playing.
Do you
B
rent
game.
out like a space to rehearse or anything?
Yeah,
you rent like studios.
Luckily, we did rehearsal in Savannah, Georgia. It was the only city that would allow me to rehearse at a venue for free.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Shout out to Island Breeze.
Shout out
Island Breeze.
Shout out to Island Breeze. That was the only place, like, out of wherever all the emails and calls we did, that would let me rehearse for free for an entire week. All I had to do was come in before they opened up shop, and I could have the room and have the floor to be as chaotic as I wanted to. So
damn.
You had like a nice loud sound, had some PAs and whatnot. Yeah.
Yep.
Did it go like to plan? Right? Like, was the rehearsal like it, or like how much improvisation, I guess, was there?
The only reason I would have to improvise is when like the crowd would like yell something at me. Like, I think the first, no, it was Houston. In Houston, a kid yelled at me, "Do a flip."
Can you do a flip?
No, I can't. I'm not about to do no flip.
So how did you handle that one?
I told him I'm not about to do no flip.
Okay.
I said, I'm not about to do no flip. And he was like, damn. I was like, damn, bro. White people flagrant, man. White people flagrant as hell.
I take no responsibility for people of my color.
That was one. And then one time, this is another. It's always the front row of motherfuckers.
I thought he was going to say it's always the white people.
I mean,
maybe. He didn't not say that.
It's always the front row. This kid, he seen my shoes. It was my favorite pair of shoes. I bought it for a tour. It was some white Air Force Ones with like a green like bandana swoosh to fit with the whole green like aesthetic and shit.
Sure.
I've been rocking them out at every show. I get to that show, and it's this kid. He's probably like 12, 13 years old. He's like, "Give me your shoes."
Fuck no.
Fucking white people, man.
I'm in my mind, I'm like, I want to say no, but this is a sold out show right here, and I don't want to be the first opener, and I'm an asshole. So I'm like, let me think about it. After the set is over, you get some time to like go out and talk to the front row, and like the kid, he's with his dad. He tapped me on the side. He said, "You gonna give me your shoes?"
Straight up.
His pop was like, "You said you was gonna think about it." I'm like, fuck. We got Da Vinci, who is like capturing the whole, like recapping and doing the videography and shit. He got me on camera and shit. I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna give him my shoes. I gave him my shoes, and like what happened after the show, I was hurt about it. After the show, I told everybody to meet me at the RV. I'm gonna be standing on top of it. That's where we're gonna be selling merch at. The same kid that had my shoes, he came out, asked me to sign the shoes, and then he bought 5 shirts of merch.
There it is. Instant karma.
That
Instant
works.
karma.
That worked? Yeah. So like,
So you broke even on that probably.
yeah,
you know
for sure,
what I'm
broke
saying?
even.
It's a winning
The shoes
transaction.
Shoes were like $107.
$100. Yeah, okay.
$107. So like we sold like, he bought like 4 or 5 shirts. We was going for 30, 40 a pop.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
We should do that every stop.
Yeah, hell, I'm giving out everything.
There you go.
And it's not even break
amazing.
even because, maybe you break even financially, but you just gained a true fan.
A true
He's
fan.
never going to forget you.
He followed me on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and kept commenting, "Bro, I'm the one you gave your shoes to."
This is legendary.
Yeah,
It's a great story.
I still want my shoes.
Hey, man, one of these days, I'm sure you'll be able to buy all the pairs of shoes you want.
I'm not complaining.
There you
but
go.
I'm complaining.
There you go. So you rehearsed in Savannah.
Yep.
And your IG bio, for example, says unapologetically from Savannah.
Indeed.
So everyone can assume that's where you're from.
From Savannah,
right?
Georgia.
But like paint us a picture for those that aren't familiar with Savannah and even where you're from specifically, like kind of paint us that picture of like where you grew up, the circumstances you grew up in, you know, kind of early on.
Okay, so for people who don't know where Savannah, Georgia is, it's 3 to 4 hours like southeast of Atlanta. Like it's right on the coast. For me, like I'm gonna answer this a couple of different ways. For me, I grew up in the same environments as like drugs, sex, rock and roll, all that bullshit. But like for me, like I had a ball. I had a ball in my childhood. Like my mom had me at 19. For the times that she was not at home to like be hands-on with me, my life was TV, video games, MTV Cribs, San Andreas, shit like that, or going outside and playing football or getting into my light shenanigans. But like, yeah, no, my time in Savannah was beautiful. Like, and that's how I try to like put it into my music. Like it's bright and like glamorous, and shout out to Fergie, glamorous and like all the pretty
Jack Harlow.
shit. Like,
I was gonna say,
shout out Jack Harlow.
Shout out to Harlow.
Shout out to Jack Harlow. Like I try my best to implement like the pretty aspects of where I'm from and the beautiful side. And there's some tracks where I tap on like kind of like doof, where it's like there are people that like feel.
I love Doof.
Thank you.
It's a hard track.
There are some people that feel like the stresses of like being from a small town and trying to like move to bigger cities, or feeling like they have to move to bigger cities to like make their goals like possible and shit. So
you can speak to them without kind of compromising who you are,
Exactly.
and not trying to fake anything.
exactly, I don't have the luxury as most artists do to like come up with a story, like some made up story, and make it sound beautiful, because like I said, my mother listens to my music.
She'll call you out.
She'll call.
That ain't true.
That ain't when you start doing man. Nah, I
You
don't.
never sold drugs, did you?
So yeah, like my mom comes to my shows. Like
That's dope.
She can attest by every word I have ever written in a song, ever. Whether it's the love song, the rapidy rap shit, the ignorant shit like doof, like all that shit is like, even in the hook and doof, I'm saying my mama is aiming at your starter cap,
Yeah.
not me. I got shooters around me. I ain't got to shoot you.
Right.
So mom was a shooter?
Shit, she is what she say she is, man.
Well, I don't know what she said she is. So.
She's a lot of things. She's like, I don't know. My mom is like, not to go on like a deep tangent, but my mom had a thing for drug dealers. Like she was a girl who really like roughnecks. Like that was her vibe, which is crazy because our grandma, really like a whole like side of my family is like straight up Jehovah's Witnesses.
Oh shit!
Oh, wow.
Swear to God. So like for my mom, like she was like the rock star of the family, because she was with all the bullshit. But still, like, she didn't like lose herself in it. Like, I don't know. Like, my mom is like, I don't know. She like a sponge.
But everyone else in your family was very like straight laced.
Man, fuck yeah, hell yeah, definitely
And,
like
yeah.
by the book, like Bible thumpers. Like we going to the Kingdom Hall on Thursdays. We reading Watchtowers, like all that shit. Like they only listen to Jehovah's Witness music. Like my grandma just left the house like 2 days ago.
Like I might have seen one of them at my doorstep, like asking me to.
I'm telling you, out there in service, like doing the shit. Not. Do you like Jesus? Like for real. So
Damn, that's crazy. So, you know, you mentioned that being from a smaller city, you kind of touch on that with elements of your music and lyrics sometimes. Do you think it's an advantage for you or a disadvantage, like being in this music game?
there are some disadvantages because there's like a umbrella of like themes that go over like being from Savannah, Georgia. A lot of people think like artists that come from Savannah are like naturally super violent and like super violent. And if you're a young artist, like especially for me, because I don't really smoke or drink, like they assume like I'm going to be either late to shit or like just not on my A game and shit like that. But I think it also comes with being from a small town where like we don't have like a bunch of opportunities, so they might think I'm not prepared for the opportunity that's given to me. So it's little shit like that. But for me, like I always been I'll say a hustler. Like even with like 15 cents, I can make it feel like $1. Like I'm one of them kids that like even to this day at 24 years old, I can eat peanut butter and jelly and be fine. I can make the most out of whatever. So even if they give me like a small pinch, bada boom, bada bing, I'm gonna make that shit work
Make it stretch.
every single time, man.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So for you, how important, obviously you mentioned rehearsing back in Savannah, but like how important is it to stay connected to your roots for you?
Shit, man. For where I'm from, artists get killed. Like the pre Quando Rondo, whenever an artist tried to make it, or as soon as they got their big spot, they got shot down and killed. Like every single time. So for me, and I would assume for other artists, that's where I'm from. Like being able to like still be in touch with your home base while you're leveling up is like that shit is, you can't even put a dollar amount on that type of inspiration and like really touching the people and giving them something to be hopeful about and something to dream into, especially for where we from. So.
Yeah, because I mean, for you, I feel like you actually practice what you preach in that. You've got the 3rd annual, if I'm not mistaken, Pote Day coming up.
3rd annual Pote Day.
So that sounded exciting to me when we, spoke about it earlier. Tell the people like what that is, what the mission is behind it, right? Like, give them kind of the insights.
So for whoever don't know, Pote really just means Savannah. So
like the port
because it's
of
a port.
Savannah, right?
So Pote Day really just means Savannah Day, and I always said like the reason I would like take rap serious is because I could bring everything back home, like bring all the opportunities, bring all the brands, like just give shit I wish I saw growing up to now. So that's been my biggest thing. And Pote Day, what we do is last year we partnered up with LRG, Jack Daniels, and just throw a free event for like a weekend, like 3 days, but each day is a different element that we give into the city. One is education. So for this year, we're going to be throwing like a panel and a workshop for like people who want to get into the industry and don't really know like the ins and outs or how they really want to navigate it and shit like that. I'm doing a live show. I haven't done a live show in Savannah and not like a real one. Like, so this one is going to be crazy, especially coming off the EarthGang tour.
Homecoming,
man. Light show, man. We're going to sell that motherfucker out for sure.
Yes.
And then, we're going to throw a block party and let people just come out and have a good time. Like, kick the dust and just chill for 3 days.
They know how to party in Savannah, too.
Oh, for sure.
I don't know if you've ever been there for, like, St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, yeah.
They go crazy for St. Patrick's Day.
We're going to throw a party on, we're going to do all the major shit in Savannah, man. I promise you. So, yeah, this Pote Day is going to be the biggest one because we partnering up with SoundCloud. I'm pretty sure Vans is going to tap in a little bit. It's going to be tight. Like, it's going to be super tight. Y'all more than welcome to come down.
Oh.
When is it?
Yo, I got family outside of Savannah.
Right now, tentatively, we're looking at September 9th to the 11th because we always try to aim around September 12th because the area code is 912.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
912 day.
But, yeah, you feel me? We always try to aim around that. So, like, yeah, September 9th to the 11th. And it's gonna be fly, man.
That's dope.
Super fly.
I'm definitely down because, like I said, I got family that's like right outside the city.
Oh,
so
yeah. It's gonna be clean. Last year the mayor came out, all type shit. Like,
wow,
man, we got big.
Hell
weight.
yeah.
We got weight.
Yeah. So making it in music though wasn't always your dream, and I thought that this was hilarious. But tell the people what your original dream job was and what you wanted to do.
Sushi chef.
Nah. Originally, I wanted to work at Blockbuster.
You wanted to work at Blockbuster as your career.
I swear to God, I wanted to be a GM. Like that was my.
You wanted to run the Blockbuster.
So you like movies?
Yeah, I love movies.
Yeah.
Like to this day, I go to the movies every weekend. It don't matter what city I'm in. Like even I bootleg movies. Like because we on the road and touring so much. Like I got so much shit on my hard drive. I got 4 decades of movies and TV shows. I swear to God.
Wow.
But yeah, my dream was to work at Blockbuster because, like I said, I love movies and it would be amazing to get paid to just be around movies.
So there's a number of reasons that didn't pan out.
Yeah. Netflix. Netflix got hot. So the physical copies and shit, that shit kind of became obsolete. So what I did, decided I was going to make music.
Yeah, because we're kind of laughing about like you wanted to be the GM of a Blockbuster.
That's all I wanted to do.
Was that, I'm just talking out loud, but like, was that kind of a result of that like small town mindset of almost like that was like what you thought was the biggest thing you could be?
Not even
that?
Not even a small town mindset. That's fair to like assume that though. For me, because like all my father figures sold drugs. So like all I ever wanted, like all my aspirations stemmed around having stability. Mm-hmm. That's all I ever wanted. Like, and seeing that my mom was like not like, like she dated these kind of people. She was never like truly involved in none of it. She worked hospitality for 19 years. So she worked at she worked a regular like 9 to 5 and like moved me and 3 of my little brothers to the suburbs, like off her dime. So like that's where my mind went at. Like, oh, this trap shit ain't like it's real up and downy. Like people die behind this shit. Like I just wanted some simple shit. I wanted a normal 9 to 5, a dog, a wife, a nice car, a decent car, like a Tesla now. That would be a Tesla. I still want me a Tesla.
Yes.
And just a normal life, bro. That's all I want.
Yeah. I just feel like that takes a lot of maturity to realize, like, because most people, let's be serious, that are around drugs and drug dealers, right? They fantasize about that life.
Yeah.
So to see it as something that like isn't for you because of the reasons that you outlined, I feel like that takes like a very like mature approach almost.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll say for not to like truly speak for those people, but like a lot of, from what I know from the kids that grew up around me, like they only glamorized it from like a money side. Like the realness of it, nobody want that shit.
Yeah.
Nobody want the missing out on time with your kids because you was trying to make an extra lick or bada boom, bada bing.
There's the material aspect.
Yeah, just the material aspect to like feel like a king for a day.
Yeah.
That's all they ever want is to feel like a king for a day. But like the downside of that shit, don't nobody want that shit for real.
And you had TV and GTA and stuff like that.
Yeah. Christmas was lit. Like Christmas was lit. But
Santa never missed a year.
you feel me? But it was days where I had to learn how to tie my shoes by myself, or I had to ride the bike by myself, or like I had to really like go through life and navigate life like alone because all my father figures were locked up behind like chasing, granted you feeding your family, but like you chasing being a king for a day versus like the village feeling like they ain't got nobody to like help them really steer this crazy thing we call life.
That's a good one.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a very, real perspective on it. And yeah, it's true as far as like no one hopefully does glamorize the pitfalls of the drug dealing, but they almost like play blind to that because they see the other side and like that almost outweighs it, the other stuff.
Which I understand. Who don't want a nice ass Cadillac?
Right.
Who don't want a nice ass Cadillac, man? Nice clothes, big old booty girls. Like everybody like that shit. I get it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So on the movie tip, what kind of movies are you most into?
Stoner comedies.
Those are nice too.
Really
nice. Those are nice. I really like animated movies, but I also really fuck with romantic comedies. Cause I'm like,
wow, wouldn't have guessed that.
Oh, for sure. Like Friends with Benefits, No Strings Attached. I Love You, Beth Cooper.
Oh my god,
Forgetting Sarah Marshall. All that type shit. Like,
so amazing.
I love it. I love that type shit. But I'm
you
also,
got so happy describing
I'm like
popcorn movies.
I swear, I'm like a hopeless romantic, bro. Like I'm one of the rappers that really like going on dates.
Are you dating anyone right now?
Not right now, but I did go on a date recently. We went to the movies. She was bad as shit.
So did it go well?
She was bad as shit. She was bad. Oh my God.
So is there a second date on the horizon?
Yeah, well, she takes me back. Right now, she going through a healing process from her previous situations. So it's like,
can I just go on record and say, going to a movie is an awful date. It's one of the worst things you can do on a date.
Is that because you can't talk?
You don't talk to each other. You don't learn anything about each other. You're not looking at each other. You're in the dark, eating, smelling like butter. Don't do it. It's a bad date.
Playing devil's advocate, some women really like the idea of a man just being around, and they don't actually.
Just the presence?
Just the presence. I promise you, I could go through my text right now and it's been, Brandon, I'm tired of like when you come over, you always want to cuddle. Sometimes I just want you to sit in front of me.
Be there.
Just be there.
But is that a good way to find out if you can be with them the rest of your life?
Oh yeah, for sure. Because if you can't be quiet around someone, oh my God, bro, you gonna feel like you being damn bombarded with energy and just bullshit all day. If we can't just sit in peace for once,
maybe like a 15th or 47th date.
No, but I feel that. I definitely feel that.
Love going on dates to the movies, and I love like, I ain't gonna hold you, going to the beach.
Love the beach.
I love the beach. Going to the beach and having like pool dates and like, especially like Piedmont Park. I'm a Piedmont Park bandit. I'll be out here for real. Like if you see me at Piedmont Park with my green on and a fine little thing next to me. Mind your business.
What do you do out there? When you fly kites?
Nah.
The fuck?
Nah, I don't fly no kites. I give me a nice little blanket, little crochet blanket. My grandma probably made it some shit, or I got it from Goodwill. But I'm gonna tell you, my grandma made it. So
Exposed.
Savage.
Get a nice little crochet blanket, little fruits and bada boom, bada bing. Little picnic. We free eating strawberries to each other. All that.
Nice.
All that cool shit. I bring me a little Bluetooth speaker. Play some Brian McKnight
On the JBL.
On the JBL, man. Shit is a vibe for sure.
That's hard.
Take notes, gentlemen.
Take notes, man.
This is how you get that badass bitch.
That badass bitch, man. You get the roses. You spray your cologne on it. That's crazy. She gonna text you. She gonna text you after the date and be like, "It smells like you. Very yum."
Cologne on the roses.
Jim.
Cologne on the fucking roses.
Oh my gosh. All right, let's get back to it. So
I don't know, man. Like fuck the music industry tips.
actually,
We're
yeah.
getting
I mean, if we
fire
had more
dating tips.
we had more dating tips out of you.
This is heat.
I got.
It's not where I thought the conversation was gonna go. But
I really love women. I like being around women, man.
Yeah.
That's my rap shit is cool. We can talk about more rap shit, but like being around women, like that shit is like.
But do you think you like the hopeless romantic and the dating so much that it's going to hinder you from finding like that one? Like, are you going to be able to settle down?
I tell my group chat all the time, bro, I just want me a girlfriend. But they be telling me shut the fuck up.
They don't believe you.
They don't believe that shit. And because like the hotter I get as a rapper is more like options come my way. But it's like, man, when I get stuck on one, like I be stuck until she really fucks something up.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like did you get a bunch of tour pussy or what?
No, I didn't do shit on. I promise you, like I didn't do shit on tour. Like I was like, I really did the work. I swear to God. Like it. At most, I asked one girl to come to the pool, and she came to the pool, and that was it.
Wow.
Okay.
That was it. I did the work.
When the cameras are off, we'll talk about this. Get your real story.
Leave your opinions in the comments.
Did he
on the
get tour
validity.
pussy or not?
I didn't get no tour.
You got no tour. That's even worse than
didn't
saying
get-
you got all the tour pussy.
I really just wanted to perform. That's it.
Man, he's really trying to paint this picture for that girl he's trying to date. Okay.
She's going to watch this
We
interview.
filmed the whole shit. We filmed the whole tour. It's a thing we're gonna put out called Turtle Tales, where we filmed the whole
Turtle
thing.
Tales.
And
That's
you're
a
not
great
gonna
name.
see not one bitch around me.
Okay.
It's gonna be work. And
Well, now I'm just judging you that you're a loser. Okay, so you moved from Savannah to Atlanta.
Pote gets no bitches.
Yeah.
Yes, I moved from Savannah.
Poe gets
to
no hoes.
No.
No hoes for Poe. Okay, so you moved from Savannah to Atlanta
Indeed.
towards the end of high school.
Toward my junior year.
Yeah, so junior year, I mean, that had to be tough uprooting from, somewhere you knew your whole life and then going to Atlanta, right? I mean, was that a difficult transition for you?
It was a little bit, but I'm good with people. But like, yeah, it's different when you go from a small town when you know everybody or know at least of everybody, and then you come to Atlanta and there's so many like different type of cultures and people from different backgrounds, and like even like all the way down to the way kids dress. Like I come from a place where they wear uniforms and it's not a private school.
Yeah.
Like it's
wow.
Yeah, like it's Chatham County School District. Like you wear like niggas feel good for their first day of school when they come with a white polo shirt, some khakis, and some brand new white Air Force Ones. Like that's like the you clean as shit outfit when you come for the first day of school in Savannah. My first day of school in the A, I'm seeing ball mains, Ferragamo pants, Prada shoes, all type shit. I'm like, ooh, I don't know if my mama make that much money.
That hotel paycheck is not paying for Balmain.
It's paying for the house. It's not paying for the Balmain.
No, yeah.
So like what I would have to do is like work around like figuring out like thrifting. That's where thrifting came in when I came to the A. I really started to figure out like thrifting and like how to put on like vintage or baggy shit with like just a really nice pair of shoes, whether it's Air Force Ones, some Jordans, some I think it's Clearwaters or like Pumas, whatever, like, and just really like styling around that.
So like save on the clothes, but spend a little bit on the sneakers.
Spend a little bit on the sneakers. You feel me? Because
That's smart.
It don't matter what culture you in around whatever world, they gonna look at your motherfucking feet for sure.
Vintage shoes, aren't really.
Yeah, that's not
That's not a thing.
Nah, that ain't.
No, please don't shop at Goodwill for your
Not
shoes.
for your sneakers. Not for your sneakers. You could go for pants, shirt, whatever.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
funny, man.
Yeah, definitely.
So
shit like that.
did Did people like welcome you, or was it already like clicked up and shit where it was tough to like, you know, kind of work yourself into friend
It
groups?
was small stuff because you know, you going into a city where people already like grew up around each other and shit like that.
And they're halfway through high school already, so they've kind of clicked up.
They
at least
clicked up, like people were already like starting to do music and shit like that, and that wasn't even my interest. By the time I left from Savannah to the A, I was my electives. One of my electives was doing theater.
Okay, wow.
So like that
Theater kid.
Yeah, theater kid for sure. Like that's the first thing I signed up for as soon as I got the chance to go to McEachern High School. That's the name of the high school.
Okay, wow.
And one of the greatest programs ever. I got like an MVP trophy, all type shit. Like that's when I really felt accepted, when I like got into the theater class. And like kids from like, cause like traditionally people that do theater is like, those are like the weird kids of the school.
I wasn't gonna say it, but thank you for saying it.
Quote unquote, those are like.
I was like, so you made friends with a bunch of theater geeks?
Yeah,
is that
like,
what you did?
A bunch of thespians.
Real thespian.
Real thespians.
Yeah, the word thespian is so underrated. Such an amazing word. Okay, yeah, so you make friends with a bunch of thespians, but that's like when you felt, you know, kind of accepted.
Yeah, because I already felt like a weirdo, like not in a bad way, but like in Savannah, I felt like a weirdo because I was one of those kids who were really into like television and like shit like that. So like going into a room full of people that are also like geeked out on anime and shit like that, was like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, this feel like home.
Yeah,
This is where I need to be at.
Yep. So you end up not starting to make music until literally like
My graduation week.
Yeah, like
My
the last week of school.
My last actual week of school.
Who or what inspired you to do that?
Like I said, once, cause they closed down, it was a Blockbuster around the corner.
Once all of the Blockbusters in the nation closed, you decided to give music a shot.
Right.
There was a
We'll pivot.
Blockbuster around the corner from my house, from the house I was staying in at the time.
Yeah.
That shit got shut down and it got turned into a game store. And I was like,
Which then got shut down.
that shit got shut down too. Shout out to Secret Game Shop. That shit got shut
Oh
down.
wow,
too.
okay. I was kidding, but
Yeah, that's. I was working there for store credit.
yeah. Oh
Crazy
wow.
story.
Wow.
But yeah, that got shut down, and I was like, man, I need to find something to do in between working a 9 to 5 I don't want to do. So like, yeah, it was a bunch of kids already doing music. I just did a bunch of emails and did my research on like who I could record with, and like the first person that actually let me record was Suave.
Wow.
I was just throwing that name out there as someone who'd been on the podcast.
no
I didn't know
idea.
that you actually.
Yeah, it was the first guy to let me record.
Shout out
Wow!
Suave.
Shout out Suave.
Shout out Suave.
One more time, alumni.
Yeah.
He was the first guy to let me record anything. At the time, I was going by a different rap name.
Yeah,
Let's
what was
hear it.
It was Mojo Yeti.
Ooh.
We've heard worse.
There's worse.
What's the worst one you heard?
I don't know.
Oh man, we've had some.
Actually, Deshaun, who's an A&R at Sony Music Publishing, his name was D-Boss. You thought that was cool. I thought that was terrible.
I thought it was simple. Like,
D-Boss, yeah.
I'm not mad at that because in TLC it's T-Boss.
Oh,
I'm not mad at that.
damn. Maybe he didn't mention that was like.
That-
I don't know if he meant to do it that way.
Yeah, ain't no telling.
Yeah.
But yeah, Suave was the first guy to let me record, and like hanging out with him and like working on like my craft. I ran into kids like Zaya, Cam the Artisan. Like there was a whole like hub around Cobb County.
Yeah.
Yo, Zaya, I want to get you on the podcast.
You gotta
for
pull up.
sure.
Zaya vibes.
Yeah, Zaya is dope
Yeah,
for sure.
You gotta pull up.
So yeah, so you're already like, those are very talented artists. I didn't realize how many folks were coming out of Cobb County like that.
Yeah,
that's dope.
Yeah. It was.
So-
It's like a whole like renaissance.
Yeah, exactly. So you start recording. Other than Mojo Yeti and Pote Baby, rattle off all your nicknames right now.
Oh, and all right. So you got Pote Baby, Baby Pote, Yamakra Yeti, Skidaway Scholar, Toussaint. Hold up.
Skidaway Scholar.
Skidaway Scholar, Toussaint Tinder, White Bluff Wody, Eastside Shouty, Brand, B.
B, just a letter B.
Yeah, B.
That's for his name.
Bucket was my first nickname ever.
Bucket is hard.
Bucket was crazy. That's a crazy
Is
nickname.
Bucket a rap name like of anyone?
I don't think so.
That's
but
kinda dope.
I'm thinking I'm gonna name a project after it.
Oh shit.
I'm thinking about
That's
it.
good.
You got to drop a bucket hat. for merch.
Yes, say less. Say
I'll take
less.
2.5% of that.
Of all bucket hat sales in perpetuity.
Bucket and Mr. Wilson.
God. Do you actually get called those at some time,
fuck
like
yeah.
throughout still life?
Hell yeah.
Just randomly, you'll hear one of them.
There's one of them, and I'll be like, yo. So, yeah.
I'm definitely calling you Bucket from now on.
Bucket
That's
is
just hard.
That's the first nickname I ever got. Like growing up, like they called me Bucket because like they said I cried so much I could fill up a bucket.
Oh, wow.
I love the origin of nicknames.
Yeah.
That's not what I thought you were going to say. But that's fucking amazing.
They call me
Like he gets
Bucket.
buckets.
Oh,
My
no.
God.
You know.
I don't know what I thought, but it was not that he cries so much. You can
Yeah,
fill up a
I'm going to
bucket.
combine two of them and call you Mojo Bucket from now on.
Mojo Bucket.
Yeah.
That sounds like a superstar.
So, kind of being around these other, talented artists and whatnot, obviously you start making moves. What did you actually start doing to like progress your music career forward? Because I mean, you said fuck college, school was not for you.
Yeah.
You went kind of headfirst into this shit. So like, what did you actually start to do? And like for an artist out there who's maybe about to graduate high school and they want to try this music shit, like what should they actually start doing?
For me, I did a couple showcases, but as far as like marketing, like I couldn't afford to do a music video. So like what I would do is I would Google or like YouTube Savannah sky drone footage and just put my music on top of it.
Ooh.
I would splice it up.
Clever.
I would splice it up and then I would pay travel blogs and shit like $200-$300 to like just post it. Like it'll be a very nice scenery of Savannah, Georgia, and then it's a nice song rapping about Savannah, Georgia. That's when I was like really, really like rapping about Savannah for like 3 projects straight. And then I pay like $200-$300 and then that shit'll go viral. And I did that for like 8 months straight of like just splicing and like looking at travel marketing and shit like that. Like
That's
that
like advanced level, finding, people that would actually use your music in their own content and getting it in. Like, that's like next
been
level.
a huge, like most people sleep on that type of shit. Like
That's the last thing people get to.
Exactly.
Usually he started with that.
No, that's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge. But obviously you do the showcase thing. That's where you meet your manager, I think, and a business partner.
Yep, I met my manager, my business partner, and my DJ.
Oh,
My
word?
DJ at the same showcase. Funny enough, he was coming to see a whole nother artist. Like,
Yeah.
he was
I
coming.
mean, that's what we talked about. Is like showcases are basically artists watching artists.
They're networking
with
events.
like a sprinkle of real people in there.
and Donnie was one of the regular people.
The regular degulars.
The regular degular that happened to be
Okay.
there. And like I performed this, I had dreads. I was wearing like Dickie suits and shit. Like I was like super like in a deep Savannah culture campaign.
Okay.
So like I performed and like after I performed, he pulled me to the side and he was like, "Hey bro, right now I'm working on my marketing firm, but like when I tap back in music, like I would like to work with you, not like as like a manager and artist. Well, not just as a manager and artist. I would like to be a partner with you on a business." And I was like, "Shit, let's do it." Like,
Damn.
Like I didn't. For me, it's always a vibe thing when I work with people.
Yeah,
Like
energy.
energy. Even to this day, like it don't matter what number you throw at me or like what opportunity. If I feel like it's something shaky about this shit, I'm not doing it. So with him, with Donny Slayter.
Donny Slayter.
Donny
Shout
Slayter.
out.
Shout out to Donny Slayter.
Yeah.
When he pulled me to the side, like he spoke to me almost like a nigga I hadn't grew up with, like almost like just a man to man. Like, hey, bro, like I don't know where this shit gonna go at, but like if you down to try it, we could figure it out. And then we met maybe a month later in Atlanta, at the gathering spot. He was like, "Hey, bro, are you in Atlanta?" I'm like, "Nigga, I live in Atlanta." Like, nigga, I live in Atlanta. He was like, "Oh shit, well, pull up on me. Let's chop it up." And then we had one more meeting. I ain't said too much. He said a bunch of like cool fly business shit. Like, hey man, like I'm
KPIs.
ROIs and
yeah, return on investment, all that type of shit, like all that shit.
sweat equity. And
Yeah, we still be working on sweat equity to this day.
of course.
So like, yeah, like he was like, "Man, shit, I don't know where we're gonna go at with this shit, but like I'm confident in what you got going on, and I'm confident in myself." Him speaking about himself, I'm confident in myself. Like we could figure something out. And I was like, "Shit, you keep talking. Like let's just go do it."
Right.
I love these stories though, man.
Just go do
I
it.
mean, there is something to be said for like, if you gotta, evaluate it for so long, or like if you do
Yeah.
feel that like hesitancy at all.
Right.
I'm not saying just dive fucking into anything
Oh, yeah,
and everything
no.
because you think someone's cool or whatever, right?
Right.
But like, if they pass the vibe check and then they pass the like, they sound like they know what the fuck they're talking about. They're willing to put in the work for you.
They stand on their word. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, man, that shit is it's beautiful and like a miracle because a lot of people don't run into like them kind of people in the industry. So like, yeah, shout out to Donny Slayter, man.
Yes, sir.
We
Big time.
made Clubhouse, man, and it's important. It's important. Like he kind of showed me this early, like when we first started working together. Like it's important to like for an artist to be an owner versus like just being an artist. Like it's important now, like being like in it after a couple years now. I realized how important it is to be at every marketing meeting. And I've counted every single marketing meeting. I've been in 28 marketing meetings.
Wow.
28 since working with SoundCloud. So before that, we were still figuring out marketing on ourselves. And then before he came along, I was figuring out my own marketing. So like I can only imagine like being an artist that doesn't even like that isn't hands-on with that. After being hands-on with it for so long, like I can only imagine like the grayness like in your head of like not knowing what's going to happen next.
Other people figuring out how to market you.
Yeah, that's
how it's not going to work.
But it is crazy, like artists that have a good deal of success also sometimes literally don't even want to touch that shit with a 10-foot pole. I mean, we know people
That's a fact.
that, you know,
just
do pretty well that also have no fucking interest in any of those meetings.
No, that's a
they want to
fact.
be actually as far away from those meetings as they can be.
I feel that because it is stressful. Like it's cool to like be on a podcast and say like, hey, I own such and such and such and such, but like putting the work in behind that shit is, oh man, bro. I be having to take mental breaks like like every month. Every month, especially like after doing touring shit, like the more we level up, the more shit we gotta do. So it's like we be having to like take weeks apart from each other, whether it's me and Donny or like us just like taking a week from each other to just decompress and like come back with like a level headed and like knowing what we want to do next. So like, yeah, don't ask for this title if you don't actually like want to do the work.
No, we talked to Rico Brooks, who manages Sunny Digital and Metro. You know, he used to manage Metro and Southside and whatever.
Rico came down to the second Pote.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's from like Albany and shit. I think.
Like
He's
that.
like somewhere in middle or like southern Georgia.
Yep.
He talked about in the early days of managing Jody Breeze and the Boys in the Hood, excuse me.
Yeah.
He was managing them and like scheduling days apart, like literally taking time. Like you go do whatever the fuck you want. I'm gonna like when he was scheduling their tours, he made sure to like add like open dates of like 2 days, and they wouldn't even talk to each other for those 2 days. Literally, they'd be in the same hotel or city, but like you go do what the fuck you're gonna do. I'm gonna go do what I'm gonna do because we're gonna kill each other.
If we too bottled up, like man, we gonna fucking like
fight or
we
some
gonna
shit.
fight or some shit. Like, and don't get it twisted. Like me and Donny, like we go back and forth like a lot.
Which is healthy though.
That's very healthy because I know like I'm working with somebody who's willing to fight for it with me. Even though it may be different fighting styles, but I know you willing to get in the ring and really like try and figure this shit out. So like, yeah, but sometimes like it's just best like, hey, bro, like you go do your thing with whatever badass bitch you got. I'm doing whatever badass bitch I got if I got one. If I got one. If I'm not,
maybe a thespian chick
maybe
or something.
or something. If not, I'm watching a movie and I'm crying and making Instagram stories.
There you go. Yeah, no, I mean because you don't want yes men around you.
Not at all.
Like that's the worst. That is honestly, I would say like one of the most toxic things that a lot of rappers deal with is their fucking homie in the studio with them saying that shit's fire when it's not. And like same idea of like, yo, what do you think about this, video or whatever?
Right.
Not good, but they hear yes all the time. And like, there's something to be said for a lot of times like managers in a managerial role, we work for the artist though. So, but at the same time, like it's got to be that partnership, bro, where like you have healthy dialogue.
That's a fact.
And like you're gonna get into it.
Yeah, for sure.
But being fucking okay enough and trusting the other person to know that like, yeah, they have their opinion, but we're gonna butt heads sometimes. But that's okay.
Yeah.
To hopefully level up the end goal.
That's it. Cause we all got a similar like agenda and like milestones in mind of like bringing all this shit back to Savannah. So like whatever small shit like it's just. We could brush that shit off, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
When you think back to the bigger goal.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, Donny just, he gets me and I get him. So yeah,
definitely.
We'll get the shit done.
Was there like a record that popped? Like, is there one that you point back to that kind of like really helped you get, or has it been very gradual to get where you are today?
The biggest one still to this day is In the Kitchen.
Okay.
I dropped In the Kitchen top of 2021, right after the pandemic. Yeah, that was that one. I dropped that shit like we got new music Friday, all type shit. Really, all of like 2021, I kept getting new music Friday and kept dropping consistently. Like, so I would say after In the Kitchen, just keeping it up and keep dropping shit consistently, like that's what made it feel gradual. But like In the Kitchen was like the first big, like,
That was a spark.
that was the first part for sure.
Did you do anything different? I just always love
I
to
would
try
say-
and give artists knowledge as far as like, did you do anything different, or was it just putting in the fucking work and eventually you caught the break?
It was work, but it was also my first time like understanding like playlisting, like for like to get, you know, the best opportunities and the best playlists. Like you have to send in your music as early as possible. The best timing is sending it in like
6 weeks ahead.
really 8 weeks. They
Wow.
they don't tell no. It's really 8 weeks. You put that put that shit in the system 2 months early, and then like when it's time, you know, if it's not ass, it gotta not be ass too. Of
course.
So if it's not ass, then yeah, you get a better shot at getting pitched to the right playlist, and then, you know, the DSP showing love, and yeah, that's what happened for most of 2021. I just kept having lead time every time I dropped.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Big,
so
big.
fucking important.
Listen up, artists. For real.
Just because it's possible to upload your song the day that you want it to be out does not mean you fucking should.
Yeah, because you trying to compete with, even though you could be a smaller artist or whatnot, you are competing with a nigga like Drake or like an Amine or a Vince Staples that's like, they send their shit in maybe 6 months ahead.
Yep.
6 months ahead. So you out your rabbit ass mind. Especially if you not them to think like, oh yeah,
Right.
I'm a drop it and not send it in one day, and that shit gonna end up on whatever playlist or like, yeah, like fuck no.
How long y'all think the surprise Drake album was submitted before it came out?
Yeah, I don't know.
Could be an exception. Maybe.
Now Drake is Drake,
Of course.
I'm not gonna hold you. Drake is Drake. So
Right.
like some shit you could get away with when you hit that level. I can't wait to hit that level. Oh my god.
Yeah, you're on your way, man.
I think so.
So Turtle Crossing is the most recent project.
Indeed.
Shout out Turtle Crossing.
I want to dive a little deep into it. The chain is fire.
Thank you.
Yep.
Did you get that for the project?
Oh shit. We got both of them for the project. This
Oh,
is
okay,
the Clubhouse
wow.
one. The Clubhouse one, the Clubhouse
Yeah.
logo.
That's your, yeah.
And then this is the Turtle one.
Okay.
So,
So
yeah.
let's start with the name. What is Turtle Crossing supposed to mean? Like what you know, what's the...
I'm gonna give you two answers.
Okay.
So where I'm from, Savannah, Georgia, it's a huge like turtle population.
Okay.
So like it's
There's
like
actual signs.
it's signs that say turtle crossing. It's like a bunch of turtle crossing signs because like it's becoming such a thing. Like people are like kind of like deer. Like people are
Yeah,
starting
here, exactly.
Yeah. Oh God.
the
It's
worst.
terrible.
The worst.
Man, we can get on that later.
Yeah.
But like for turtles, yeah, like they just be out in the middle of the street and like sometimes they get hit and especially with turtle shells, it's dangerous because if you hit one and you don't get a clean like run over that shit, it'll ricochet and it's like a bullet, so it'll run through like a windshield or like
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
Holy shit.
yeah, that shit is.
I'm like hearing this and being like, this makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's dangerous down there.
that
Be
shit-
careful. Oh,
you gotta be
Savannah.
careful. Do not run over
drivers.
try not to hit the turtles.
Yeah,
like
damn.
what's been going on now? I'm gonna get to the second answer. What's
Sure.
been going on now? People have been seeing turtles. They'll pick it up and take it to water and then tag me. Like that shit
That's amazing.
is crazy.
Wow.
We almost
Campaign.
It's the weirdest, like, impact to have on the people, but
We're saving the turtles
We
out here.
saving the fucking turtles.
yeah,
man.
we're saving
Straight
people
up.
from stray shells. Like, good Lord.
So
I didn't
the-
even think about that.
The deeper answer is
Yeah, the second one.
Second one is for those who don't know, sea turtles when they're born on the shore and they use the moonlight to navigate to the water, and the water just symbolizes the journey. So with Turtle Crossing, that's what I wanted it to feel like. Every emotion that you feel going on a journey to like reach a goal or a milestone or like chasing your dreams. So that's why every song is different from the other, but that's the emotion that you can feel like chasing something.
Yeah, man. I mean, sonically, right? The
Yeah.
production is all over the place.
It is. Very
And-
smooth stuff. There's some darker stuff, some lighter stuff. There's like a West Coast kind of sounding track.
There's
at the
a
end.
Pharrell, Neptune's influenced, bass line and shit. That's in I think Move.
Yeah, that's Move. Yep.
Yeah, and like
Definitely
that
Move.
one's crazy.
Yeah.
But then you go to like You know,
You got Brown Sugar.
Brown Sugar,
Brown
exactly.
Sugar's like super like R&B slick poppy.
Yeah.
And then you got Doof that's like Southern Ignorant.
Yeah.
And then you got Set It Up where it's like turn up gym music.
Oh, yeah.
And then you got Do Me, which is like house music, like Majid Jordan-y.
Yeah.
Where it's like
It's the one.
It's the 1-2 H&M shit. Like
Yeah.
And then you got That's Me, which is like just rappity rap shit.
Yep.
So like, yeah,
That's crazy.
It's a what's been going on now. Like, well, what I was planning was that everyone would have a song that they like.
Yeah, different
Like,
song,
different song.
favorites.
Yeah, it's a song for everybody. So that's what's been going on. When people talk about like Turtle Crossing, like they talk about the whole project. Sometimes they talk about they pick a song. At least with my previous projects, they'll pick 1 or 2 songs. But everyone that like the language around the project has been like, bro, you dropped an amazing project.
So you don't worry about people like maybe connecting with some and not connecting with the others by it being different?
Not no more, because that was the plan. Like me knowing that I'm planning for like someone to like something, whichever one it is, which that means I'm cool with you picking 1 and not the other 8. Or I'm cool with you picking 8 and not fucking with 1.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
but to me, it sounds kind of risky, right? Because what if the one they want to get to sonically is buried in the track list? Right? Like, did you feel like you were taking a risk by doing it this way?
It's 9 songs.
Yeah, it's not overwhelmingly
it's
long.
not overwhelming.
True.
Like, I think it's
only like a 30-minute play, or what is it?
30. I think it's like 23
Let's just put it
minutes.
this way. I listened to it on the way over here. I only live like 20 minutes away. So
yeah.
I think it's like 20 minutes, actually.
There's like 20-something minutes.
Yeah,
and like
20-something
I
minutes.
know like for me, when I make music, I have a different like awareness for like when I make music, because it wasn't my first dream. That also means like me like taking it serious means like I'm not going to cut corners on any of the songs. So like I'm confident in all the songs. No matter what setting you put in, I know one of these bitches gonna rock you.
Or one of them could at least pull them in to then be able to experience the rest.
Yep.
Because they do, as different as they are, they have a weird cohesiveness to them.
It's not jarring at all.
Yeah,
Going from track to track, it doesn't
Yeah.
like jerk you.
Yeah,
or
I didn't
anything,
go.
but-
I didn't go full, because it's levels to like having a bunch of sounds on one project. There's like you can go Kanye with Yeezus, where it's like that's a lot of like just left right, left right, left right, left right, and it's
Yeah.
like it lacks cohesion because he was trying to show like the frustration of like trying to enter like a culture and a type of business field and not being accepted, and like how that shit hits you like left to right, left to right. And then there's like I would say like a Vince Staples like Summertime 06, or like a 50 Cent Get Rich or Die Trying, where it's like it's different sounds, but it meshes for some reason. I don't know why it meshes for some reason. I sequenced this motherfucker a million different times. I sequenced it a million different times. That way I felt like if I fucked with one, I didn't have to skip the rest. So that was my planning behind that.
Yeah. Do you make a fuck ton of songs that you think, like what's your approach to making a project? Did you make a fuck ton of songs that you thought were going to be for this project, or had you already had a bunch?
Or is it more like Cam the Artisan, who I had a session with the other day? He has this whole his next album. He already knows how he's going to roll it out. He knows the different sections of it.
That
He
nigga's
knows
smart, man.
He knows all what the videos are going to look like, how it's going to feel. But he hasn't made any of the songs.
Oh, no, I ain't dealt with that.
He sounded
know what I
he
mean?
seemed so on board with everything you said
until the last
until
part.
the end. He was like, "Oh no."
That's the kicker.
Oh, no, I ain't dealt with that one. But
So yeah, how do you approach making a project?
well, how I approached Turtle Crossing was a little different from the rest. I was much more intentional.
Okay.
So like the beats that I chose, I knew I was gonna work on these sets of beats. Like that's it. I'm not touching nothing else. I'm
Like
not,
exactly the 9, or did you cut some?
exactly the 9.
Literally.
Wow.
Exactly the 9.
So you were gonna make those fucking
Yeah,
songs.
these shits was gonna have to do something.
That's rare.
These are the ones I chose. These are the ones I was dedicated to. These are the ones I knew like, yeah, I'm gonna arrange these bitches from bass to hi-hat to keys to vocal notes, whatever. Like I knew like this is the set of songs that I'm going to work on, and that's how it went. The other projects I've done before this, like it's been like kind of like how you were saying, like having a bunch of songs and then like trying to like make it fit a narrative or like all that type shit. But like, nah, I was much more.
You had your narrative first.
Yeah, I already knew like I wanted a project that felt like a journey.
And do you think? I mean, this has been the most well received body of work so far, right?
This is my best one out of the 3.
Yeah. And so, I mean, so would it be your recommendation to try and approach it the way you did this one?
Yeah, for sure. I would. I mean, but some people, I'm not gonna hold you. Some people can really do the.
Depends on the artist.
Just close their eyes and pick the fucking songs and then some people call it something.
Some people are much more like studio rats than me, to where they're in the studio for like 10, 12 hours, just making a whole bunch of different songs on some Tupac type shit. For me, I'm in the studio 2 hours at a time.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm at the studio 2 hours at a time.
But you know exactly what you're gonna do when you go in there.
I know what I'm gonna do because I was saying, I come from a place like when I was recording with Suave, like I knew like I'm paying for this amount of time.
Yeah.
So I'm basically paying for this amount of work I'm about to
Was he engineering you?
Yeah, he was engineering.
He was making money off engineering?
For sure.
He didn't tell us that.
Yeah, he was.
That's awesome. I didn't.
We knew he engineered.
I don't even think I remember talking to him about that.
Yeah, nah.
I'll have to go rewatch the episode, but I don't know.
Yeah, he was engineering.
Okay, wow.
And we started recording right after his Trap Atlanta mixtape.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, Trap Atlanta mixtape.
Yep.
So like, yeah, he engineered me. He was also making his own beats and like, kind of still to this day, he still make his own beats.
Yeah.
And all that shit. Like the kid he was then, he's still that kid, but like his mind is like,
oh, he's
amplified.
Like he done figure out how to navigate this industry shit. Like
he's an interesting dude.
Yeah, for sure.
Really, really cool conversation we had. Go check out that episode for sure. The Suave episode.
Sure. We'll put a link to it on the top right here, Ben.
Yeah, but I'm in the studio for 2 hours to this day, even though I don't have to pay up front no more. I don't have to do that no more. But like, yeah, that's the routine I built for myself, to be in the studio for 2 hours, know what I'm about to put in, know what I'm about to get out. If I don't fuck with it, I can take some time away from it, like a day or two, and then come back and then do 2 more hours and then polish whatever I did.
Is there a song off the project that meant the most to you?
Brown Sugar.
Brown Sugar.
Easy.
Because why?
Me being I'll give some backstory.
Is this like the lady man in you, or like the ladies man in you?
Not lady man. That's a different meaning.
It's 2022, Henry. He could be a lady man if he wants.
But I am not a lady man.
No. The clickbait is trans rapper Pote Baby.
Yeah. Shout out to everybody though, man. Shout out to gay, straight, bi, trans, black, white, yellow, yellow tan. I fuck with everybody.
Shout out to green people.
Shout out to green people. Turtles. I love y'all.
Shout out to turtles.
But for me, one, I kind of like before we cut the mics on and shit, I really love Fergie. Like that's like, I love Fergie. Like the Duchess album is like, hopefully, like I basically did make a project with like a bunch of bangers on it. So like her debut album is Fergalicious, London Bridge, Glamorous.
Wow. Just those 3 alone.
Yeah, that 3 alone.
Records.
Big Girls Don't Cry.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Like that's on there.
They're all on there?
Yeah, the makeup song. She got a song called Finally. Like she got like bangers on that bitch, right? So like that's always like, I always wanted to make a project that felt like I was stat stuffing. So like I was statting, just making like banger after banger after banger. But as far as like
padding the scorecard,
you feel me? But as far as like the sonic, like I always loved the groove her and the Black Eyed Peas had.
Yeah.
So with Brown Sugar, especially for like the music I was making prior to Turtle Crossing, like I've always wanted to tap into that and like really push myself into being into something I'm not like usually doing, which is like basically like trap bass and shit like that. A bunch of doofs and set it ups and shit like that. So making Brown Sugar was like a really like pulling myself out of my comfort zone and like kind of like how the project is symbolized, like chasing after your dreams. Like I really wanted to chase something I've never done before. So with Brown Sugar, and as smooth as it came out, and the like the way like the people received it, like man, that shit, like I love Brown Sugar.
Is Zaya on that one?
Zaya is on it. Kid named Daniel Novello is on it. My friend Simi is on it. Like I wrote and arranged all of that shit. Like that was like, it's really like I'll tell you how many versions of that song it is. It's 27 versions of that song.
Jesus.
It's 27 versions.
Yep. I know what that's like.
He's a mix engineer also, so it's like he hears 27 versions. He's like, that's light.
Yeah, that's light.
Yeah.
Oh man, I ain't even got the time to be like, well, I don't know. I ain't got the time yet to do like 80 versions of a song. But like for me,
it shouldn't get there. There's no point.
But I'm not gonna hold you. Sometimes
it's never done, man.
Art is never finished. It's only abandoned. And at some point, you
That's
got to
clean.
let your little children go live in the world and then start another one.
I stopped at 27.
Let your turtles get to the ocean.
Let
you
them
know?
cross.
Yeah, exactly.
I stopped at 27, and that's the version that came out.
There it is.
Well, it sounds fire, man.
Thank you, man.
Yo, no, the project is incredible. If you haven't already, go stream
Turtle
Crossing.
All platforms, man.
Amazing body of work.
Thank you, man.
Is there anything that people should look forward to? Another project that's already in the works, or anything else?
I'm always working on the music, so I'm gonna give y'all a
one more time exclusive.
one time.
Yo, we love the one more time exclusive.
One more time.
So I'm working on a project right now. It's beautiful. I'll play some of it for you when we get off. When we get off the camera. It's probably my prettiest project. It's titled GIG.
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 It's clearly an acronym.
Yeah, I'm not gonna tell y'all what the acronym is.
Damn.
But
come on, bro.
It's Gig. GIG, and it's
Girls in something.
Girls and girls.
Girls in girls. God.
But I'll tell you this: it's 10 times better than Turtle Crossing.
10x.
Wow.
10 times better. Easy. Sonically, vocally, like lyrically, performance wise, like arrangement is like
Conceptually.
all that shit. Like it's 10 times better.
So is this going to be your Fergie project?
As far as what you trying to say?
Like banger after banger after banger after banger?
Oh yeah, I'm doing banger after banger for every project after
From now, yeah.
That's the new blueprint.
Yeah, that's the
it.
blueprint. I'm going banger after banger.
Wow.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, GIG folks.
GIG.
Any like time frame they could be looking forward to this?
St. Patrick's Day 2023.
Ooh, so
Oh, wow.
So you got to be in Savannah when that
Spending
drops.
some time on it.
Yeah. Definitely spending some time. Probably the most time I ever spent on a project.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm giving myself this time too, because I didn't want to. It's some songs I felt like I rushed on Turtle Crossing, but it still came out fire.
but I mean, can we get some Lucy's between now and then or what?
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm
Okay,
gonna be
good.
dropping. I'm
Okay,
gonna be
thank
dropping.
Well,
God.
he's done some of like the waterfall type of rollouts, which I love.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can drop a song, you drop a little EP that has that song, plus a bonus, extended versions. I love that type of stuff.
Oh, I
man.
am
think
dropping.
you're doing it.
I am dropping
right.
a deluxe for Turtle Crossing.
There you go.
Shit.
I am.
There you
doing
go.
that. It's gonna be 4 new songs on there.
Amazing. Amazing.
I love that.
Yo,
What new song?
great conversation. Amazing story, man. And I
Thank you.
love the way that you're really doing this shit to like give back to the community that you came from, man.
Indeed.
I mean, you want to pay homage to Savannah,
Indeed.
and that's amazing. There's not enough artists coming out of the city. I feel like I can't wait to, see who comes out of there next, to be honest.
Yeah, man.
That's super dope.
It's a lot of kids, man. I do this, even though I do this for Savannah. Like it's a trillion other small town kids that get overshadowed by the big cities and feel like they can't do anything. And I'm here to say, oh, you can fucking do it.
You can do it.
It's beautiful.
You can fucking do
That's
it.
beautiful. Well, Pote Baby, we appreciate you coming on the podcast.
Appreciate y'all, man.
And Henry, until next week, what are we doing?
Getting out of here.
Peace out.
Pop that shit like one more time. They pop that one more time. Pop that shit like one more time. They pop that one more time. Hop up in that foreign skirt, no. All the homie, this shit tripping, no. Middle finger to the